Imagine a 16-year-old boy standing atop a mountain fortress, looking out at an empire that controlled half the known world. The mules, the Adil Shahs, unstoppable forces that had crushed kingdoms for generations. Now imagine that same boy turning to his handful of followers and saying, "We will be free." Most would call it madness. History would call him Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, the warrior king, who rewrote the rules of warfare and built an empire from nothing but courage and vision. This is his story. February 19, 1630, in the hill fortress of Shivneri near present-day Pune, a son was born to Shahaji Bonsal and Jijabai. They named him Shivaji, after the local goddess Shivai. But this was no ordinary birth in peaceful times. The Deccan plateau was a chessboard of warring sultanates, and the mighty Mughal Empire expanding southward. Shahaji was a military commander serving various kingdoms, often away on campaigns. It was Jijabai, his mother, who would shape the soul of the future king. Jijabai was not just a mother, she was a teacher, a strategist and a patriot. In the flickering lamplight of Shivneri Fort, she filled young Shivaji's mind with tales from the Ramayana and Mahabharata, stories of dharma, courage and righteous rule. She spoke of a time when the people could live without fear, when justice would prevail over tyranny. But she also taught him something else. The land itself, the Western Ghats, became his classroom. While other noble children learned courtly manners, young Shivaji was climbing mountains, learning every pass, every valley, every hidden trail. He wasn't just playing, he was memorizing the geography that would become his greatest weapon. Shivaji's education was unconventional. His primary teachers were the Mavla warriors, hardy mountain people who knew the terrain like the back of their hands. From them, he learned guerrilla warfare, sword fighting, and something more valuable, loyalty earned, not demanded. But Shivaji possessed something rare, a strategic mind that saw opportunity where others saw obstacles. At 15, he gathered a group of Mavla friends and began taking control of small forts in the Pune region. These weren't conquests, they were calculated moves on a much larger game board. In 1645, at just 15 years old, Shivaji captured his first fort, Torna, then Raigad, then Puranda. With each victory, his legend grew. By the time he was 19, he had established an independent territory, and the regional powers finally noticed a new player had entered the game, and he was playing by different rules. Shivaji didn't just conquer, he revolutionized. While other kingdoms relied on heavy cavalry and traditional warfare, Shivaji pioneered guerrilla tactics perfectly suited to the Sahyadri mountains. Swift raids, strategic retreats, intimate knowledge of the terrain. His forces could appear anywhere and disappear like ghosts. His kingdom, which would become the Maratha Empire, stretched across the Konkan coast and the Western Ghats. His capital, Raigad, stood like a crown atop the mountains 3,500 feet above sea level, virtually impregnable. But here's what made Shivaji truly exceptional: his administration. He created a systematic revenue system that was fair to farmers. He built a powerful navy, the first Indian ruler in centuries to recognize the strategic importance of coastal defenses. He promoted merit over birth, elevating talented individuals regardless of their caste or background. His forts, over 300 of them at the empire's peak, weren't just military installations. They were symbols. Each one declared, "We will not bow." 1659, the Bijapur Sultanate had had enough. They sent their most formidable general, Afzal Khan, a giant of a man who had never lost a battle, with an army of 10,000 to crush this upstart mountain king. Shivaji agreed to a meeting at the base of Pratapgad fort. Accounts vary, but the story goes that Afzal Khan came to embrace Shivaji with a hidden dagger, but Shivaji wore a concealed bag, Nak tiger claws, and struck first. In the chaos that followed, Shivaji's forces routed the Bijapur army. The Battle of Pratapgad wasn't just a military victory, it was a statement to every empire in India. Shivaji Maharaj was here to stay. Then came an even bolder move. In 1664, Shivaji raided Surat, the Mughal Empire's wealthiest port. Not once, but twice. The legendary Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb was forced to acknowledge this mountain rat as a genuine threat. When Aurangzeb invited Shivaji to Agra in 1666, it was a trap. Shivaji was imprisoned, but in a daring escape worthy of legend. He and his son Sambhaji hid in large fruit baskets and were carried out of Agra to freedom. The lion would not be caged. June 6, 1674. Raigad Fort. After decades of struggle, Shivaji was formally crowned Chhatrapati sovereign king in an elaborate ceremony that followed ancient Vedic traditions. He was no longer a rebel or a chieftain. He was an independent monarch, and his kingdom was a reality that even the mules had to acknowledge. But Shivaji's greatest legacy wasn't military, it was cultural and administrative. He promoted Marathi and Sanskrit over Persian in administration. He established a council of 8 ministers, the Ashtapradhan, to ensure balanced governance. He was strict about the treatment of women and non-combatants in war revolutionary in an age of brutal conquests. He gave his people something they had been denied for generations: self-respect. Shivaji Maharaj passed away on April 3, 1680, at the age of 50. But here's the remarkable thing: his death didn't end his kingdom. The Maratha Empire he founded would continue to grow, eventually controlling much of the Indian subcontinent and playing a crucial role in the decline of mule power. More than territory or treasure, Shivaji left behind an idea that governance should be just, that merit matters more than birth, that the people are not subjects to be ruled but citizens to be served. Today, nearly 350 years after his death, his legacy lives on, in statues and forts, in stories and songs, in the memory of a boy who refused to accept the world as it was and dared to create something better. Because Shivaji Maharaj didn't just build a kingdom, he built a legend, and legends never die.